All right, back here for round 3 of the Pokéverse Cube League. This time we got a mirror match going on. It's Scizor versus Scizor. My deck has 4 Scizors and Blue's has 3, so that means mine is better. No, actually, we kind of memed about the 4th Scizor a whole bunch during the game. It was kind of funny. The Scizor from Crown Zenith that it just basically is a 3 for 80 bot, and that's all it does. Yeah, I don't have as good of an engine as Blue does with Uxie and double Delcatty, so like I need the 4th Scizor in there just to like randomly run into one. So that's the reason why I'm playing it. He said it was trash, and whatever, man. It's so big. It's got 130 HP. Okay. Let's just hop right into the game. I kept kind of a sketchy hand, no supporter, but I've got Scyther, Scizor, and Muscle Band. I'm like, okay, let's just go. Let's see what we can do with this. And the coin flip goes in my favor, Tails, and we're starting off on the play here. And it's twin play Scyther too. Now, unfortunately, Blue flips over my worst nightmare here. It's the 100 HP Scizor, Scyther, which means I cannot get a KO on the second turn. I can only do 50 damage. 50 additional damage. No. 70. I can only do 90 damage. I can't knock it. I can't knock it out. Blue's starting off with the Winona, which gets Skitty Delcatty. Seems pretty good. And just an attached metal energy, rescue scarf, and pass. I've drawn nothing of interest. I just have a Porygon. So we'll go ahead and metal scissors for 70. We'll save the muscle band. It's not taking a KO here, so it doesn't matter. Literally the only thing that his deck could have played that I wouldn't have taken a knockout with. Very frustrating. But one of the interesting things in this matchup is we're both kind of playing around attaching special metals. I have 3. I think he has 4. Reason being, red armor kind of prevents you from attaching special energy. So I'm also like kind of nervous to attach that warp energy in hand. Not necessarily useful. He is going to evolve into Scizor EX and have an attack lined up here with a Steel Wing for big damage because he's in danger perception range. Nice dual ball heads. We'll get a backup Scyther and a Voltorb into play, and I do have a Windstorm to get rid of the Rescue Scarf. And that's gonna mostly be my turn. I don't want to get rid of Muscle Band, do I? I am gonna get rid of Muscle Band for a Porygon. Or for a Shaman. That's probably better. We'll set up for 5 and hope to find a Porygon off of that. We don't, but we do find a Yanma and a support. Holy cow, we got a supporter. Pokemon Collector. Pretty good supporter. We'll get Cast Form. Nope, we won't get Cast Form. We'll get Skuntank, Porygon, and Marshadow. Only mentioning the Porygon because that's all I have room for. But I'll probably have room for something else once this Scizor inevitably goes down. We'll go ahead and metal scissors for 70 minus 20 is 50, which is just enough for the KO. And we'll pass it over to Blue. Blue just kind of needs an Electrode to just bomb something into play and take a knockout. Starting off with the Lanettes here. It's going to get Cleffa and Sabrina's Gaze. We're going to go ahead and shuffle our hand. And he basically did the Lanettes to get a bigger hand to Sabrina's Gaze with. And they've got the Electrode EX ready to go. Kind of unfortunate, but it is what it is. Now, will they find a Scyther? They do, or a Scizor. And it is red armor, so we do have to play around the correct types of energy again. Interestingly, though, my hand after the Sabrina's Gaze is not doing much. Not doing much. Hoping for off the bomb prize here that I get something good. Once again, in this cube, the lowercase ex's, they're just one prize, so Bomb Trode here, it's only given up one prize, which is pretty good value for blue for sure. Ultra Ball 2 is going to thin some cards out of the hand, Lookers and Clefairy, and get a backup Scyther, which is going to be good because there's no reason to attach all the energy onto this active one, especially that metal energy, the special metal. We want to put that on the benched one. And we'll just go ahead and Metal Scissors for 90 after stamping me. Holy cow. Well, the stamp is actually good. It definitely helped me out there. The Winona will just kind of help me cook. We got a free retreater in Yanma. So I got a couple different options. One thing that's kind of a sneaky thing that I can do is I can actually snipe the Skitty potentially. No, there's no way I can. I'm one card off, so I have to go for the Winona to just kind of guarantee some things. We're just going to get Porygon 2 off the Winona. Attach an energy, and we're going to draw 3. And boy, oh boy, we find a Scizor. It's probably the best Scizor in the deck. It's the Crown Zenith one. Just kidding. It will do 30 damage, and maybe if we flip heads, it'll do 60. Are we lucky? We are not. We'll do 30 damage. Now, the good thing is this Scizor only has 100 HP, so it's not a big guy. And the 130 HP of this Scizor is kind of out of range of what they can do with Metal Scissors right now. Metal Scissors is at 90 right now. With an energy attachment, we'll get to 110. So we're gonna dodge. We're gonna dodge getting a KO here, and we can potentially return a KO with just an energy attachment. One of those moments where I realized that untap is kind of bugged out. So hoping you can kind of see all the things that have happened. Blue has energy drawed a couple times, found a Delcatty, found a Scizor, and is now Peoniaing. And also Uxie too. Sounds pretty good. Notably the Scizor on the bench is building up with the special metal on it, so gonna reduce damage down for sure. And we'll swing in for 90 onto the Crown Zenith Scizor. Now, I can just swing for a KO for 80 damage. Resetting untap one more time. Drawing nothing particularly interesting off the top. So we're just going to Mallow. Set the top of the deck. Card number 1 off Mallow is going to be Yin Mega, the Prime variety. And just kind of checking through lists and everything before I pick another. we're going to get Skun Tank. And untap still being kind of annoying. I'll attach the grass energy, making sure I don't attach that special metal or I lose. And we'll just go ahead and back up for those 2 cards that are on top of the deck. Oh, it's not Skun Tank after all. It's Scizor EX. And Yen Mega. Definitely, I guess, makes more sense than Skun Tank because I don't have a stadium. And we'll go ahead and Dangerous Claws and take the knockout, doing 80 damage. Drawing Atticus off the prizes is real great. Let me just tell you how great it is. Now, one thing that's interesting, the Yamaga Prime is not necessarily that great all the time in this deck because, in this matchup, I mean, because the double Delcatty means that blue can just kind of draw on a massive amount of cards. The one saving grace is I do have Holland Signs, is the one card that will allow me to match hand sizes. So, we're lucky right now for that, for sure. I think there I was trash talking with blue about how I can do 320 damage to his Clefairy with Dangerous Claws, because Dangerous Claws does do 80 damage, but it does 80 more damage if it's a basic Pokemon. So yeah, I can kill that Clefairy 8 times over. Blue getting a Retriever, shuffling a bunch of Scizor line parts back into the deck. Attaching to the bench Scyther just to kind of just keep cycling through. And energy drawing some cards away. Finds that Scyther, finds a Focus Band, which could really put me in trouble. And we'll just go ahead and Steel Slash for the KO. I'll promote Yen Mega. I find Flower Shop Lady off the top. I mean, it's a good draw. I'm going to have to use that soon because I'm running out of guys, frankly. But my first priority right now is matching hand sizes with the 7-card hand that blue has. So I can attack this turn with Yen Mega Prime. We'll back up for 1 and we get a research. So we could either bin that entire hand, which is non-ideal, or we could just bin a Porygon 2 that we weren't going to use. We draw a lot of good things off of that, but we can't play any of them because we need to stay matched for Insight to be turned on. And we'll just go ahead and use Sonic Boom for 70 damage onto Scizor. That attack is not affected by weakness or resistance. Doesn't matter in this case. This is one of the psychic resisting Scizors. So we'll do 50 damage. And not be anywhere near taking a KO. But the good thing is that blue can't either this turn. Starting off with some energy drawing. Starting to be dangerous a little on cards in deck. Got 8 cards in deck and still 4 prizes to take. So the Delcatty engine is going to cool off here eventually, but not after drawing 3 more cards. Not until after drawing 3 more cards. The Faba of the metal energy there is humongous. Really annoying. And then a sneak attack as well to get rid of Professor's Research, I'm assuming. I should have put the special metal in the Lost Zone. I don't think that comes into play as being impactful, but yeah, I definitely should have put that there. Blue puts back the Giant Cape for a second, then realizes, wait, no. Let me put back Research. And so yeah, we do that. And I'll just actually hit with a steel slash there. I think I missequenced how I shuffled there on the top. And we'll go ahead and grab the Marshadow with Celio's Network to match hand sizes once again. And here the good thing is I can actually start drawing some cards too, because I have Quick Ball and Air Balloon are great ways to match some things. I think here potentially I realize, no, I don't realize that the metal needs to go to the Lost Zone. We'll back up for 4. And we'll Quick Ball away a Porygon, and I believe I just fail it here, just to keep my hand size the correct size. Yeah, I was like, okay, I'll get Scyther. No, I can't get a Scyther. Oh, no, I can't get a Scyther because I'm going to play that Parallel City for sure. I got a Yanma. Okay, sure, whatever. Get a Pokemon. We'll play Parallel City. I'm assuming limiting my bench size. Yes, we'll get rid of Shaman. We'll get rid of Marshadow. And limit their damage of the Grass, Fire, and Water types. And with hand sizes matched again, we'll poison ourselves, but Sonic Boom and put the Focus Band in jeopardy here. If Blue were to attack, would get knocked out, and Focus Band would not trigger. And then we got a Lost Vacuum getting rid of the Parallel City, and then a Marnie. Now, I'm fine with the Marnie because that does get me Verbank. So Blue's going to have to go with a big retreat here to preserve that Scizor. Attaches Special Metal to reduce damage on Scizor Prime, and will Metal Scissors for the KO. Taking the lead, going down to 2 prizes. I do kind of just have the nuts here. We've got Attach Energy, throw down Verbank, back up for 4. Castaway is a supportive return. I once again think about Atticus, then wait, no, Ben, you're dumb. We'll get Flower Shop Lady so we can recycle some things. We get an energy, and that's it. And then we'll go in and Steel Wing for 40 damage plus 30 from Verbank. Oh no, plus, yeah, for 30 damage with the special metal attached, plus 30 for Verbank. So doing 60 damage total. Doing kind of funky math for the Verbank things. And we'll just go ahead and Metal Scissors for 70 damage onto my Scizor. I realized that when I like wanted to grab Atticus and changed my mind and did Castaway, I accidentally put it on top of my deck, so I shuffled, and then I still drew it. But in this case, all I'm going to do is I'm just going to retreat out and not let the Wishbowl Baton trigger. We'll retreat into Skuntank and attach to Scyther and just recover some guys. We'll get Scizor Prime back to stop any potential special metal shenanigans. And we'll get Shaman back as well to draw some cards. And 3 Metal Energy. Now this is really going to put blue in a tricky spot. It's got basically one good remaining Scyther. And no energy in hand, and no way to really draw into any, and that's just going to be game. I would just be able to power through the rest of what he had, so we'll go game 2. Opening up with a mulligan. No basics. So we'll try again. Looking at this hand, I mean, this hand is very similar to the last one, but it doesn't have a second energy, and also the energy is a special energy, so I'm like, well, that's not as safe. So we're going to use a Gentleman's Mulligan on this one. We start with all special energy, and otherwise good things, but I'm going to decide, you know what? We'll start with Holland's Cast Form this game. We'll see what we can draw. We are going second. I'm like, well, let's attach this warp energy to the Holland's Cast Form, so it's not necessarily like blocking us from attacking into Scizor Prime. And we'll go ahead and start. Blue starts off with a dual ball, getting one of them. Gets a Scyther down. Gets a better Scyther down. Yeah, get the twin play for sure. And Sabrina's Gaze will mulligan my hand away, essentially. Blue gets a second Scyther down and an energy attach, and just kind of says go. The Sabrina's Gaze really got me into something nice with the Collector here, because that's just going to turbocharge my Holland's Cast Form here, which is pretty insane. So we'll get Porygon, we'll get, I'm assuming, a Yanma, and maybe just even a Skuntank. Yep, we'll grab a Skuntank. Attach and Delta Draw. Now, the normal Delta Draw text lets you draw for all the Delta Pokemon you have in play, but in this cube, the special rule is that the Delta part is removed, so it's draw for every Pokemon you have in play, so I get to draw 5. I am punished, though, after the Collector, because Blue does have the Chorus, and we'll Chorus for 7. We'll attach some tools and just go into a Cleffa and try and just protect his board. I mean, I don't really have a way to attack just yet. We've got a Rocket Sneak Attack. Yep, Sneak Attack. And we'll get rid of the Marnie. Slow that hand down even more. And I'll just go ahead and Mallow. The good thing with this Mallow here is that I can set up my top deck for some nefarious purposes. I am going to try and Verbank and get the knockout here, because Blue's hand is not great, and getting rid of the Cleffa that would inevitably just get a fresh new hand will be pretty bad. The Cleffa is asleep, but Sweet Sleeping Face does not prevent special conditions. It just prevents damage from attacks. So with a Verbank and a Skuntank, I can just take the KO and still actually Delta Draw myself, which is pretty cool. So that's the play I'm going to go for. I picked 2 cards, and then I realized, no, that doesn't work, and I have to put one in the back, but I put back the wrong one. So that's the weird sequencing that you'll see here, is that I'll actually accidentally pick the wrong ones. Basically what I want is a second Yanma, because I actually don't Delta Draw, because I don't want to give up that prize so easily. I'm going to get second Yanma, because I'm going to retreat into the first Yanma I have. And we'll just kind of put a Scyther down into play, put the Yanma on top of the deck, and the card that I'm backing up for is not the Air Balloon. Yeah, so this is what I'm doing. Yeah, I want the Verbank. I was thinking about retreating into Skuntank or something like that, but I ended up wanting the backup Yanma instead. That seems a little bit better. So we'll poison ourselves, then retreat out of it, and we'll go ahead and take the KO here with Verbank City Gym. And we'll get a Delinquent, which I don't want to do. Blue does have some energy, which will get things kicking off here. A sneak attack on me, too. Funny thing is, I've got an Arven and I've got a Castaway, so no matter what, I'm going to get a tool. Depends what I'm going to get with it. He gets rid of the Arven. That does shuffle away my backup Yanma, which is big sad, but what are you going to do? I'll promote Skuntank, because I'm going to go for Castaway. And Castaway is going to get me Air Balloon, Energy, and Hex Maniac. I kind of just want to slow Blue's roll down with Delcatty, potentially, next turn. And I'm just going to go ahead, bench a backup Scyther. We'll Poison Structure and Steel Slash. And the really great thing is, with no special metal energy attached, the 70 damage actually pairs perfectly. So if Blue swings with this Scissor right here, it's gonna die going back into my turn, which is insane. The energy draw does get us to an Underground Expedition. Blue will look at the bottom 4 cards and pick 2. And we'll warp out of there. The warp energy curing the Scissor of Poison, and just leaving up another Sacrificial Lamb here in that Clefairy. The good thing is, though, that Blue stalling for time here does mean that that just allows me to get a backup guy going. So I'll just go ahead and attach energy, evolve into Scissor. I think this is the point where I probably Hex, right? No better time. We'll back up for 1. And yeah, we'll Hex Maniac. I don't need the poison to take the KO. Steel Slash will do 40. And Blue has no draw abilities. And there goes the Faba, getting rid of the Verbank for good, which is fine at this point. I mean, it's outlived its usefulness. for sure. And with 4 energy on there, that will not be enough for KO. 4 energy will... Oh, no, sorry. It's 3 metal energy. And the warp energy does not count. So we'll do 90 damage, which is 60. Yeah, 60 plus 30. Yeah. So at that point, then, I think I just kind of attach... I'll Parallel City and get rid of my cast form. Just to... I think I just used Delinquent. Yep, we'll use Delinquent. And here we're kind of just digging for... Can we find Windstorm? No Windstorm there, and actually no playable card, so I can even back up. Oh, there's one playable card. I will play Giantscape, and I will back up for 1. And no dice there. Blues... In-game, he was picking on me pretty heavily for just all my big backups for 1. But, hey, they get there. They get there. The Wishful Baton will trigger this game, which will mean those 3 energy get moved back to a Scyther, so it is ready to turn into a Scizor and start swinging this turn. There will be a Retriever off of Blue's Lookers, so he will get the... Scizor Prime back, and this Scizor Prime is swinging now. It's got 4 metal energy on it, so it can swing for 110 damage. Luckily, my Scizor EX on the bench has 120 HP plus the Giant Cape, which will put it up to 140, which means it won't get KO'd next turn with an energy attach. When additionally, we can do things like Steel Wing, which will even reduce it further. I don't necessarily have a thrilling hand here. I've got 3 special energy that I can't attach. I've got some supporters, I guess. But not too many of them do anything right now, so we're going to Zinnia's Resolve. We're going to discard a special mineral and Holland Scientist. And draw 3. Or no, draw 4. That's for each Pokemon I play. We're gonna attach an energy. I think I actually end up attaching to... Yeah, I end up attaching to Shaman and then Metal Saucering to the Scizor. Slightly more optimal. And we did not draw our 3rd stadium, so we cannot Poison Structure, so we will just go in. Even though I have 3 energy attached, I think I do just Steel Wing for 30 damage. It sets it up for KO range, and it just protects my guy by reducing damage by 20. I'm just proving, yes, I do have 3 energy attached there. But, yeah, we'll just use Steel Wing for 30. Now the interesting thing is that if I can't be knocked out, that puts me in danger perception range. And if Blue gets a 2nd special metal on Scizor Prime, I can't knock it out with Crosscut. And also, even if I try and even I do knock it out with Crosscut, we got the Focus Band that is potentially protecting it on a 50% chance here. So Blue definitely going deep into the tank on this one because it requires some interesting maneuvers. But he does come up with a pretty good play for sure. And it is attached special metal and Mallow to set up the top of the deck. So now it's officially out of my KO range here with the second special metal. It's got 70 HP remaining, reducing 20 damage. So I'm doing 80 damage unless I get hit into danger perception, which a hit by the scissor would do because it's got 5 energy attached to it right now, which means its attack is doing 130 damage, which is not enough to KO me. So instead, blue just passes, which really great play by him. I think it was definitely the smartest thing that he could have done in that situation. The unfortunate thing is I do actually just have a complete counter to that in hand, which is really cool, and I'm really proud of this play here for sure. The counter to that is to Arven for exactly Muscle Band and Windstorm. And now I didn't know, I hadn't necessarily specifically prize checked for that situation, so I didn't know if I had those in deck. But we just kind of raw went for it, and by Windstorm discarding my Giant Cape and his Focus Band and attaching my Muscle Band then to the active, that guarantees the KO on the Scizor because I'm now doing 100 damage, reduced down by 20, which will be 80, which will get the KO. And at that point, I've got a Scizor that's primed and ready for attacking and has all the energy it needs, and he has no energy on board, so he just scoops it up there. And we take the mirror match.